Welcome to the Asia Talent Cup for 2018. It is round 4 here. We're in Thailand for the second half of the season. We're in Buriram. It's Sunday. It's time for race 2. But this on your screens right now was race 1. It was Daniel Sharrell who took his first ever Idemitsu Asia Talent Cup win at the Chang International Circuit. He attacked to perfection at the final corner in another classic contest that went down to the wire. The Malaysian attacked Haruki Noguchi, your former championship leader, at the final corner to take the lead, and he stayed just ahead despite a last dash move from the Australian and now championship leader Bill Van Aert to take the checkered flag ahead of the others by thousandths to move up to third in the championship. Van Aert, though, he had an absolute shocker of a qualifying day on Friday. He started from the back row of the grid but made his way all the way up into podium contention and almost took the win, just missing out by a few thousandths. He then extended his championship lead over Haruki Noguchi. However, it's now time for race 2. What on earth is going to happen? Well, there's plenty of contenders ready to take the spots away. Mario Aggi, as we saw earlier in the highlights, went down at the first turn. He's been a contender all the way up there since the start of the season. We have the likes of Munandar, who went out of this enormous leading group as well. And there was the checkered flag. Who is going to take the victory today? It's not long till we find out. Stay tuned. This is the Asia Talent Cup. Sawatika, and welcome to Thailand. We're at Buriram in the Chang International Circuit for the Idemitsu Asia Talent Cup Round 4, Race 2 coming on your screens very, very shortly. And I tell you what, it's not just the air temperature that's a scorcher. The action on track has been nothing but sizzling since we got here. An 11-rider leading group by the end of yesterday's race. With a few casualties, only 9 of them ended up crossing the line. And what a race it was. We're expecting more actions like it. I'm not sure if you can tell, but we're a little bit pumped up from that MotoGP race. Unbelievable action we've already had here in Buriram. My name is Matt Dunn. Alongside me is Fran Wild, bringing you the commentary. Fran, what are we expecting for today? Can Bill Van Aert take the victory?
Well, yeah, obviously yesterday he was starting 19th and just missed out on that win and an incredible comeback. And the Australian said he's going to be trying to push even harder now on Sunday in race 2. So that will be an interesting one. He's also starting 1 position further ahead. So, you know, if the maths works out the same, then gains the same amount of places, he will indeed take the win. But it was an incredible race yesterday, like you said, and fairly clean. There are a few casualties, like you said, a few crashes, but nothing too dramatic in terms of incidents. And yeah, just unfortunately a few crashing out largely on their own.
Yes, not too many major incidents, though we do have a penalty that has been impeded on Toshiki Senda, who went down with a championship contender Mario Aggi down at turn 3, the end of the long back straight, a proper U-turn there. The two were involved in an incident. It was deemed that Toshiki Senda was involving in improper conduct. He has been sent to the back of the grid, which lifts Bill Van Aert up to 18th place starting position instead of 19th. Well, that was 1 position higher up on the starting grid. Will it be 1 position higher up? Come at the checkered flag as well? Well, these guys that we're looking at right now will be hoping not. Cannot afford to let Bill Van Aert get further away in the championship. He currently has a 8-point lead, if my maths is currently correct. 135 points he is on. Haruki Noguchi, the man on pole, on 127 points. But this was Boasi, the local rider, the local hope for victory here. There was an enormous Thai flag in the grandstands opposite us down at turn 11 yesterday, and the Thai fans are still there, absolutely screaming for the local rider.
Yeah,
unfortunately he crashed out yesterday, but hopefully he's put those demons behind him and can cope with the pressure and go for victory today. But this was your victor from yesterday, the perfectly basic helmet, Daniel Sharrell. He was the winner, part of the Petronas Sprint Racing Moto3 Junior World Championship squad, and in their sort of academy. They were all there to celebrate with him in part from, including MotoGP rider Hafi Sharin. Of course, that will be the ultimate goal. This is just the first stepping stone into the long career ahead for some of these motorcycle races. Which of them will we see in MotoGP someday? Who knows? Time will tell. Fran, can he do the double?
I honestly don't know. I think he'll have had a big confidence boost from yesterday. Obviously, that first win. I think he'll definitely now maybe feel like a little bit of a different rider today when he's woken up. Knows that he's capable of doing that. And yeah, he showed great pace and great tactics as well, kept it really nice and clean and kept it together. So I think it's going to be an interesting one. But the likes of Aji as well, obviously, like we said earlier, he was involved in that incident with Sendo, and the Japanese rider was penalised for that and starts at the back, or well, 6 places further back. But Aji, I think, will be an interesting quantity as well in that front group, because he's had some really incredible races this season so far and has been a winner. So he was definitely a name missing from that front fight, I think.
Yeah, he certainly was. Kopchai Seilu, he was another rider who was well up in that leading group for quite some time, putting some audacious moves. More up there at the beginning of the race, then dropped back a little bit. We thought he had some pretty solid tactics as he made his way up to the front end towards the end of the race as well, but fell back out of podium contention. Here we are on board here with Bill Van Erd as he gets ready, the number 19. If you get a little bit confused with who you're looking at sometimes during the race, Bill Van Erd and his championship contender Haruki Noguchi do have very similar crash helmets on. Haruki Noguchi number 9, Bill Van Erd number 19. So we slip up sometimes as well. I'm holding my hand up here. If you get a little bit confused whilst you're watching, do not think any less of yourself. There's a big Australian flag on top of his helmet as well for a little easier identification of Bill Van Erd. So the grid will be cleared fairly shortly. Well, we hope, because we're hoping to get underway with the racing, actually. Not just hearing me and Fran natter away. Want some engines sparking into life, action getting going.
Yeah, definitely. As you can see, actually, in that main grandstand, there's a good amount of people left there to see this Asia Talent Cup race, and I think they've made a great decision, because often it can be one of the contests of the day. Unfortunately, or fortunately, we've had 3 incredible races so far here, so there's a lot to live up to, but the Asia Talent Cup, like I said, always an exciting race, always a little bit crazy, but in the best way. And yesterday, everything went down to that final corner. Hopefully, we will see something similar now.
Yes, I certainly hope so. Absolutely awesome action we had yesterday. Plenty more of that to come, we hope. Please, boys. So we were a little bit nervous at the start of the race. We saw a 5 or 6 rider group just managed to get away, but that second pursuing group led by Sho Nishimura, the man in the middle of the front row. He led them all the way back. He was absolutely full gas towards the leading front group again. He dragged everybody with him and got well involved with the battle. So looking at the grid starters now, it's 21 Daniel Sharil starting at the head of the second row, getting ready to take off. Will he get the whole shot again today? He certainly did yesterday, and he did not look back. In fact, we should have predicted it from the first corner, really. Well,
almost, although, you know, it's quite rare in the Asia Talent Cup that the guy who gets the whole shot is going to be a definitive winner, with a lot of moves exchanged in between those 2 points of the race. But yeah, definitely he showed from the off yesterday, did Daniel Sharil, that he meant business and got the job done in style at that final corner. But Van Erd, I think, yesterday had a really, really clean, really good start, straight up onto the back of that front group and making great progress without expending too much energy and time as well. And I think that that's a good sign, and he'll be hoping to replicate that and then, yeah, get in that fight again and just keep nice and calm, relaxed, and look after that lead. He can now, obviously, after that almost win for him yesterday and finishing ahead of Noguchi despite the qualifying, he can afford to come second to the Japanese rider and retain the points lead. But this is the Asia Talent Cup, and we don't expect too many tactics like that, certainly at this stage of the season.
Yes, this is the Asia Talent Cup, and Bill Van Erd is only 15 years old. I think if he's going to concede the win in his sights, he's definitely going to go for it. No questions asked. It's all about that mental battle as well. There's the number 9, Haruki Noguchi, to the right of your screens there. We're still on the warm-up lap. I know they look like they've got to absolutely pit. That is a very long back straight that we have here. This is on the run down to turn 4, the ultra-fast turn 4. Got to be careful of the track limits on the outside of here, a key zone where many riders throughout all the classes that we've had here this weekend have been getting warnings or lap times cancelled from race direction. Not so many warnings as such during the actual races themselves. I did see in Moto3 earlier on a few riders getting notes on their dashboard from race direction. Hey, watch those track limits, sunshine.
Yeah, it can be an important thing now. Like you said, in Moto3, had one for championship leader Jorge Martin. So even the best can just overcook that a little bit. But they do need to be careful. Like, if you make, you know, a one-off mistake, or if you're forced wide, not too much of an issue. But if you do repeatedly offend, or if you are obviously gaining an advantage from that, then you will get probably a little interference from race direction.
Absolutely. We've got to mention also that Daniel Sharil's win yesterday also moved him up a place in the championship, with Mario Aji crashing out on the first lap. Unfortunately, no fault of his own. Shahril has overtaken the Indonesian rider in the standings just by one singular point. Now Bill van Aert rolling up to the grid here. They're all underneath our commentary position. We are at the turn 12 end of the main grandstand here. Plenty of people still just sat below us, ready to enjoy some top quality racing coming your way. This is the Road to MotoGP program. One of these guys will be lifted into, the winner of this can be taken into the junior talent team in the Moto3 Junior World Championship for next year. There's a lot on the line here for these guys racing here today. Although still a long way in this championship to go yet. Around in a couple of weeks' time at Motegi, and then we're going to get the season finale in Malaysia a couple of weekends after that. Here is Haruki Noguchi getting ready to go. Revs are going up. The red flag man's taken off from the front of the grid. We're going to have red lights, and they're going to go out, and we're going to be racing at the Asia Talent Cup in Buriram. That was a shocking start from Sho Nishimura on the centre of the front row of the grid, but it's Daniel Shahril who gets the whole shot once again. I'm not going to say he's going to win it though, because we have no idea. We're now on the run down towards turn 3. It's going to be absolute slipstream city here, and we're going to see some wild braking manoeuvres. How many lines do you want to take, boys? Down into turn 3. We're going to be 3 maybe abreast coming in here.
So getting pretty close already now down here. I think Shahril's going to hold on to it. Like you said, amazing start from the Malaysian once again. Obviously absolutely pinned it to perfection yesterday and just repeated that today. Dream start for him again, and he'll be feeling pretty confident and happy to have repeated that, I think. But a bit of an interesting group here at the front. Bouassi, he's obviously not looking to take too many risks at this early stage after his heartbreak yesterday. But, well, no, okay, I thought I was going to just curse that and spoken too soon. But, yeah, it's right in the moment. We've got a big group here. Noguchi lost out a little bit from that pole position, obviously, and just making his way through there. Yesterday, we saw him very, very eager to stay at the front, so that should be an interesting one, and we'll try and get an update on where Bill van Aert is after that P18 start. Yeah, with the real loser in that first turn 3 brawl was Haruki Noguchi. The pole man is down in 3rd there. That's a couple of bike lengths that Daniel Shahril has out the front there. Looks like Bouassi, the answer number 5, still in 2nd place. The local rider, of course, wanted to be performing in front of the home crowd. And that's Seilu, who's just behind Noguchi as well. Another rider who had a bit of disappointment yesterday is Noguchi has actually taken Bouassi now as they come down towards the final corner for the first time. This is where we saw all the action yesterday. Although we're not going to be seeing too many audacious moves this early on. Over the line for the first time we come. We're going to get classification now. 15 laps to go. Shahril from Noguchi, Bouassi, Seilu, Putra, and then it's 6th place. It's Van Aert, the number 19, from the back row of the grid. Full gas from the Australian. Absolutely incredible from Van Aert. Obviously yesterday you can't see exactly what's happening with those guys, and it's all in the pack in a crazy first lap, but maybe, you know, didn't know if he got lucky or someone just had a problem there and he managed to sneak his way through. But today absolutely repeated that to perfection. Oh, exactly, that was Van Aert coming down into turn 3 and move up the inside and finds himself on the outside of the rider. Ahead of him that was Seilu, I think it was. Yes, it is. He's now just pulled alongside him, the Thai rider, and that's number 16 there, giving him a bit of action too. It's Putra, the Indonesian rider, who's going to get the inside line down into turn 4. Or consider as we just panned away, but there was no trouble for the leader at this little stage. Where is Van Aert? He's been bumped back a few places there in that little section. Turn 4, ultra fast, ultra difficult for these guys. They play a seriously interesting opportunity for overtaking there as well. Yeah, definitely. Van Aert showed that as well yesterday when he took how many people at that corner in one? Oh, ridiculous Quite a few in one. It was a very good deal. Yeah. But Noguchi now looking pretty threatening for the lead. I wouldn't be surprised to see his tactics maybe be similar to yesterday, but really pushing hard to try and get to the front and then make a gap. Van Aert now back up into 5th according to the timing screen, so it looks like he's managed to clear that little squabble there and get back in the game. Yeah, full gas now as we go down towards turn 12 once again. There's a little bit of a gap up ahead of him to the podium guys. I think that is. How many guys do you want to go? We're on more than you couldn't see what we just saw outside our commentary position. How many riders and friends were there then? We got Bouassi, who has the fastest lap so far. No, it was Van Aert, and then Yamada, who has the fastest lap of that particular of the race so far. Nothing too special. We're only a couple of laps in. We're still, this train isn't stringing out one little bit at the moment. There is Yamada there, the number 14.
13 rider, fastest lap of the race so far. Look at that absolutely beautiful slipstream change will be coming down. Although Sharil, he's managed to keep just out of trouble enough there. This is very interesting. If you look at what Noguchi's doing in this race, stark contrast to what he did yesterday.
Yeah, definitely. At the moment, he just seemed pretty content to sit there, and Sharil in the lead is doing a great job to just keep it all together and deal with the pressure of leading the race. Van Aert getting a bit swamped there. That's not so much space, boys. Be a bit careful there. There's no need. You've got the whole track. But yeah, definitely, I think Noguchi maybe he did realise from yesterday that that wasn't quite the way to play it, with all the places you can slipstream around this Chang International Circuit. Wasn't able to quite break away, but certainly shadowing Sharil pretty closely. It looks like he's having no trouble at all keeping up with the Malaysian.
Yeah, we can't emphasise enough how important the slipstream is here. The Moto3 riders in qualifying could have lost or gained maybe half a second if they got in the slipstream enough. We have, of course, the long major straight, a kilometre long just after turn 1. It includes turn 2. It's not quite a straight officially, but really it is. Don't tell anyone. And then we have the U-turn for turn 3, another pretty much 3/4 length long straight. Then as we come out of turn 11 here, we have this tiny little squirt down to turn 12, and after that the start and finish straight as well. So plenty of slipstreaming opportunities. Noguchi though, he is just watching Sharil. He's sitting there comfortably though, but he cannot afford to let him get away. Hey Fran, there's a big gap behind Noguchi as well.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously as well, with only 2 of the riders ahead of that gap, the hole they're punching in the air is going to be a little bit smaller. So Boissy will need to be a little bit careful not to let them get too far out of slipstream range, because like you say, it really is worth a lot and it can cost a lot to try and make that gap up. But Van Aert not quite getting as in this fight at the front as he was yesterday by this stage, but nevertheless they're still in touching distance. I think the Australian looks like he's going to make a move now.
Oh, that is a very, very inside line. Keep that bike upright, not too much trail braking with too much lean angle there. Otherwise could have very easily gone down. We've got a look there at number 7, Mario Aggi. He's at the front of this, what I would call, I guess it's all one group at the moment, though there is a bit of daylight between Noguchi and the third place man Boissy, but Mario Aggi just keeping in touch at the moment. Fortunately, this is as long as he's gone at the round 4 so far. Yesterday crashed out in the first lap on the 3rd corner as well. So Mariachi just holding station, keeping an eye on what's going on ahead of him. Plenty of time for this race to turn on its head completely. But these two really holding station very easily there. Van Aert has moved up to 3rd though, just behind them. He does not want to let them get away, that's for sure. Yeah,
I imagine the Australians just had an eye on that gap, and it's started to, like you say, really extend a little bit. So he's made his move now at the head of that. It is now a second group, I think, definitively. But he'll now have to be careful he doesn't get too attacked from behind, and the 2 in the lead will have to be careful they don't start squabbling and really allow those guys to close up on them.
I think the way he can stay in front is he doesn't do the Aaron Canet move and symbolise to the others to stick behind him by tapping his seat unit. I'm sure if he doesn't do that, the others will get the message to stay actually behind him. And actually all very sensible down into the final turn there. So you come across the start and finish line again. 12 laps to go in this one. Number 16 though, Putra is definitely doing the full Canet, signaling to guys behind, don't overtake me, just let me go. But
absolutely, you already had one of them in Moto 2 as well. I think Luca Marini doing that, but completely correct in the end. The Italian had incredible pace. Sometimes it really is worth sticking behind the guy ahead of you just to let them do the work to pull you back up to the group ahead of you. But you know, this is the Asia Talent Cup, Moto 3, Moto 2, even MotoGP. It's not the kind of tactics a lot of riders naturally think, oh yeah, I'll just stick behind this guy.
Well, I can tell you one thing, lucky Hendriancia, the 13 there in the background was having absolutely none of it. It's on to stick behind him. The next thing he did was take him at the final corner, and now he's still in front in 6th place at the moment. Bill Van Erde trying to drag Boissy, the local rider, up towards the sharp end. That Saliu, the number 23, just behind him. Looked like he was trying to make a move down into turn 4, and has he? I can't tell. No, he's still behind the duo in front of him. These guys not quite getting away. That's pretty much the same gap that we've had before. Is how many? It's about 0.8 of a second between Erde and Noguchi in 2nd place.
Yeah, they're still within that magical second of the 2 in the lead, but it's getting a little bit close, making me a little bit nervous. Noguchi especially there, I thought he might have overcooked it and was about to clatter into Sharil. Don't know if you saw my face or heard a slightly small squeak.
What, a little whimper?
Just a little bit, but no, they're really looking quite threatening now, the Japanese rider in 2nd. Maybe he thinks now he's got the measure of Sharil and he's going to try and make that move and see if he can pull away. But Van Erde, I think those guys behind just starting to maybe make a little bit of an inroad into that gap, and then Boissy looks like he's going to ruin the party, but not quite.
He's making my heart rate go a little faster. As we saw Lucky 13 in the background there, he was cementing his place at the front of that. I guess that is not really a third group now. He's bridging the gap between himself and the 6th place man there. So this is just a replay of Noguchi going up the inside of Shariel, and Shariel would have just taken him back there. Oh, that was awfully close, wasn't it? And stick your knee out, knee down, there we go. And this was Shariel taking the lead back from Noguchi down the back straight.
So yeah, those guys not need to get in each other's way too much. But we did see now, it looks again, Van Erde having a look behind him there. Looks like he has been able to close this gap down. Last time over the line it was a couple of tenths off, but I think it's definitely got a lot closer since when we were watching those replays, and the Australian right with this duo now. He
is right with this duo. Noguchi has absolutely no idea yet again that his championship rival is right behind him. Or maybe he does, because he just made a move on Shariel up into turn 5 down the inside, beautifully secured. Absolutely excellent that was. A little bit Marc Marquez-esque. I won't spoil the MotoGP result if you haven't seen it already, but there was an audacious move there from the reigning champion, a 2018 championship elect. And Noguchi has taken the lead from Shariel. What can he do with it now? Has he got whiff? The Van Erde is behind it. They do have pit boards, so maybe he has.
I like the has he got whiff. I enjoy that a lot.
Has he got
phrase?
he can smell it.
I think definitely Van Erde now, he's obviously made that breach. He's managed to breach that gap to the front duo, and now Noguchi in the lead, but no, Shariel doesn't seem to want to let him take it.
Shariel definitely thought about it then, but he backed out a little bit more. He thought Noguchi's pretty strong on the brakes. We did see yesterday, Noguchi was really losing out in the straights and getting, hassled all over the place. He just got slipstreamed every single time. But it's this infield section from around about turn 5 all the way to turn 11 where he was really able to pull away if he so wished. But Shariel's managed to take him round the outside there. Excellent.
Yeah, great move there, straight back into the lead for the Malaysian, and then here comes Van Erde. Looks like he's trying for a 2-in-1. Who will be latest on the brakes? Pretty much 3 abreast here.
There he goes.
He's done it again.
Deep into turn 3. How's he made the apex there? Absolutely brilliant braking from Van Erde. Noguchi's just looking at him. I'm surprised he's not shaking his head.
Yeah, definitely. It must be a bit of a sinking feeling when you start from pole and the guy that you're fighting for the title has started 18th, and there he is, going past you in style, 2 for 1 corner. But a lovely move from Van Erde, and Shariel though says, no, I want this again, I'm going to do the double here, and it takes him straight back. So obviously Shariel, he is in with a shout at the championship. There are a lot of points on the board every weekend in the Asia Talent Cup, and this is only round 4 like we said. So Shariel, it's a bit of a longer shot now, but by no means out of it mathematically, but he has got a little bit less of that title stress than the two who have been kind of the 2 favourites from the beginning.
Yeah, 125 points on the table available at the moment. Noguchi, or was that Van Erde? He goes, nope, I'm taking it back from you. It was Van Erde. He takes the lead, and Noguchi follows him straight through, overtaking Shariel as we come onto this final sector. Van Erde quite wide there. Might possibly have messed up his drive out of turn 11 down onto turn 12. Noguchi's got him just a little bit. I think this straight is just a little bit too short to get a slipstream, or is it? Let's see. Shariel goes out the inside of Van Erde into the final corner.
Yeah, he obviously managed to gather that up quite nicely there, but like you said, bit wide, not everything pitch perfect from the Australian, but Shariel is just really showing some good chops today again. Absolutely in that battle, completely content to lead, maybe even prefers it, keeps attacking for P1 every time he loses it. So it could be an interesting one this today.
Good chops is another extraordinary phrase brought to you here on the Asia Talent Cup commentary. As you saw, Mario Aggi has moved up to 7th place at the moment. It's proper slipstream city as we come down to turn 3 once again. Van Erde has been absolutely swamped. Where has he been moved down to? 5th now. He's up on the inside of Saliu, and that's Boasi going around the outside of him as well, but he says, no way, sunshine. I'm taking his position back. I've got to get back up towards the front as Noguchi seems to be trying to get away. Pucha is up into 3rd at the moment, though.
Yeah, definitely. Indonesian came a little bit from nowhere there, suddenly swooped through into 3rd, but really getting a bit hairy out there now in this lead group. They need to be a little bit careful. But yeah, there seem to be so many different lines that riders take around a few of these corners here. It's hard to tell who's overcooked it, who's really trying to keep it nice and tidy, and who's willing to run a little bit wider and maybe get better drive at some parts of the track. Yeah. But there's also good battle behind that lead group as well, with some some interesting moves going on that we can see from our commentary box.
Yeah,
great fight, 5 riders behind those guys.
If you think the racing at the front of the field is fierce, just wait till you see what the guys trying to get the last points are doing. It's just like that all the way through the World Championship classes as well. Wasi is on the move. He's up to 4th, though, and so is Nishimura after his horrendous start. An absolute horror show from him. They come out of turn 11 now on the run down to turn 12 once again. Where is Billy Van Aert? He's down in 5th again. That's Wasi up ahead of him. He goes up the inside now, though. There he takes a position before even hitting the apex. Superbly executed there. Can Wasi get him on the exit? No, he can't.
Yeah, that was nicely done there. Just got a little bit beaten up there, did Van Aert on that lap. And Noguchi's now back in the lead, so definitely doesn't want to lose touch with these guys. But Putra really showing some great pace at this stage of the race and is really in that fight with these guys.
Great chops from the Indonesian up into 3rd at the moment as we go down to the long back straight, hitting around about turn 2 now. In theory, there's a bird by the side of the track there. Please don't go any further on the track, young one. And as we see Vil Van Aert, he's going to try another audacious overtaking move again. He does. He is so good on the brakes into turn 3 there. He can just do something nobody else can at the moment. He's gone up the inside of championship title rival Noguchi and Putra as well. Up in 2nd place again.
Yeah, definitely. The Indonesian tried to resist there and fight back, but no can do. And Van Aert now is the guy shadowing Shariel in the lead. The Malaysian still looking ice cool at the head of this race.
He really is, almost like a different man from yesterday, or a different boy, should I say. Having said that, Bill Van Aert goes up the inside of turn 5 again. Has he kept the line though? This is the benefit of these smaller capacity machines. If you mess up your line a little bit, you can afford to give or take a foot or two maybe, and not lose too much drive. That's exactly what Bill Van Aert has done now on the run up to turn 8. And as we tip it right, there's some Noguchi's going to lose 3rd again. He does, and he's lost a little bit of drive there on the inside as well. He was so good on this infield section yesterday. Maybe something has changed a little bit. Oh, we have a faller in the background there. Who's gone down? Someone has gone straight off there. Who was it? Oh, I hope it wasn't Aji again. Was it? No, it's Yamada. The guy who had the fastest lap earlier on. He's gone down out of the leading group. What a shame.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a heartbreak there. You can see his irritation as he smacked the floor. But looked up and okay, which is the main thing, but a bit of a heartbreaker for Yamada. Like you said, had some good pace.
Yeah, had some great pace completely. Well, that leaves around about 10 riders in this leading group now. A little bit like yesterday. Yesterday we had 11 for most of the race, and unfortunately had a few casualties. Got down to 9 by the end of it. Here's a replay of the crash. Or just a classic front-end washout there, asking a bit too much of the right-hand side of the tyre. Got a bit of a washing machine treatment there as well.
Yeah, definitely, but up and okay straight away, which is always good to see, especially with those high-speed tumbles like that. But last time around then, Bill Van Aert was quite a lot faster than those around him, so it'd be interesting to see if he can keep that, or if right now he probably is going to get victimised again with the slipstream. But the Australian is a little bit smaller than some of those he's racing in this front group, so that can really be an advantage for him. And he also seems to get quite a few places really hooked up. I say that, and he's gone wide.
Yeah, he's gone wide. Who's that up into the 1st place? That's number 4. That's Munandar, where he's been absolutely nowhere all race. He crashed out yesterday. He's been just keeping an eye on the back of this leading group. In fact, he's completely gone under our record. I don't know about you, he's definitely gone under mine. He's now in the lead.
Yeah, definitely been playing it pretty cool in that lead group. Has Afrid Munandar, and now, like you say, capitalising to perfection there, taking over in the lead of the race. But Van Aert could have been a bit of a disaster there, but he managed to gather it up fairly quickly and slot back into 2nd. So not too much loss there, but maybe just a knock for his confidence given the struggles that he had in qualifying and on Friday.
Yeah, Noguchi, like the proverbial Hawkeye, just keeping an eye on every move that Van Aert does. We're on board with him at the moment. Van Aert defending his line supremely down into turn 12. He's keeping a close eye on Munandar ahead of him. The other Indonesian as they come out of the final turn. Is he going to be close enough to get any kind of slipstream effect after turn 1? We shall see. Munandar quite a tall character compared to Van Aert. Van Aert just nearly got to the back of him. Oh, he had a big moment there on the exit of turn 1. He really lost drive there. He's going to properly lose out. The bum on the back of the seat unit there. He's definitely lost a little bit of the gap.
Yeah, I think he might get a little bit swamped now as well by these guys. Managed to gather that up and stay on the road, but definitely lost out a lot there and just at the wrong place.
6 laps to go, just goes to show as Van Aert. Oh, look at that. Nishimura comes on the inside, down into turn 3, gives his number 14 there a little bit of a nudge on the exit 2. Sorry, that was number 16, that was Putra, the former podium contender in this race. Well, they all still are at the moment. Just a little bit of a nudge on the exit there, fairly clean, but just hard racing.
What we're going to get a replay of
this
here.
This is Van Erde just getting it all crossed up in the back of Munendar there. Oh, and at the end of that second moment, front end twitched on the exit.
Yeah, obviously managed to recover fairly well, you see there. Bums back on seats, everyone aboard.
Very exaggerated.
Definitely, yeah. But managed to get that gathered up and back in the hunt. But like I said, maybe just a little bit of nervousness to come from moments like that, because obviously Van Erde, the worst situation for him would be a DNF. Yeah. So he doesn't have to win it to even retain the lead, but have to watch out to not lose I was going to say a hunk.
That was it. Sorry, Noguchi just sort of sat up there, pulled a little bit of a Mick Doohan style, as he didn't want to get too close to the back of Sharil, who has managed to work his way through back to the lead now. As we come down to the final corner again, Van Erde has recovered supremely. They both, Noguchi has gone up the inside into the lead again, just out of shot there. Oh no, he then loses it on the drive. Munendar pulls up alongside him though, and he overtakes him there, and down into turn 1. Van Erde's going to take him as well. Noguchi could have been first. He's now down to 4th again. Van Erde takes on the inside from Munendar.
That was a little bit of an expensive few metres there for Noguchi, but Van Erde really recovered well already, straight back up there, and Noguchi must be wondering, what do I have to do to get rid of this guy? You know, qualified 18th, had all these moments that the Japanese rider's likely been completely aware of, but still Van Erde confident as ever, so it doesn't look like he's been too affected by that moment we saw a few minutes ago.
Sharil just got completely sandwiched by the championship rivals there, as Noguchi went round the outside, but lost drive and couldn't quite take him on the crossback. But Van Erde goes up the inside and takes the lead again. It looks like he's going to lose on down to turn 4, maybe not. Can't really tell from the camera angle. How many riders abreast do you want to go, boys? Down into turn 4. They all come out of it, thankfully. A little bit wide there on the exit was Van Erde. He does exceed track limits a little bit. Noguchi goes up the inside.
Honestly, a few minutes ago, I thought he'd gone Shamo, because it really is some impressive stuff now, these guys. 5 laps still to go, so it's by no means the final fireworks, but they're really, really going at it now in this front group, and a lot of chopping and changing. But Van Erde and Noguchi obviously showing why they are the 2 guys with the most points so far this season.
Yeah, these 2 are a little bit, I would have said they're a cut above the rest, but really it's a whole massive group of these guys. Well, it seems that the Chang International Circuit really lends itself to great racing, doesn't it? We've got 5 laps left to go, and I'm really sorry if you hear any noises from mine and Fran's mouth that don't sound human. This is the type of effect that the Asia Talent Cup has on us. Oh, what's this, an audacious move? Oh, look at that, Pucha down into turn 12. Excellent stuff. I think I saw Sharil go up the inside as well, trying to take some, scalp a few people as well, but he just missed out there. But he's going to take Bill Van Erde down into turn 1 though. He's going to get the lead. No, Van Erde just maintains it there.
That was very audacious there from Putra. Honestly thought it looked more like a mistake than a move in the first couple of metres when he emerged there. But absolutely gathered it up to perfection. No such dramas as we saw in Moto3 World Championship, so very, very good job.
Noguchi,
you can see absolutely swamped.
Absolutely swamped, but he had such a good drive out of turn 1. He just ran around the outside onto the curbs. He's on the inside here, getting a little bit swamped, as you say, but as we leave turn 3 with 4 laps to go, oh, he touches it. Who was that ahead of him? Was that Sharil? I think it could have been, you know, it was. In 4th place, just nips the back of it. And he lost even more drive. We're coming down to turn 4. Where's Noguchi gone? He's down and back in the group. Who is leading? Fran Nishimura's gone up to 2nd after the horror show start that he had. Or is it going to be Munendar? Fran, I don't even want to say who's going to be leading anymore. I'm going to completely lose it before this race finishes.
Are you okay?
Who wants to lead? I have no idea. We're on the infield section. What a race this is. We've been treated to such great racing today. Absolutely extraordinary. Munendar, number 4, is in the lead yet again, but for how long?
Yeah, definitely a pretty incredible few corners for these guys. Noguchi, the big loser in that, but also Van Erde has been shuffled back quite a lot. But these guys ahead of them, like you say, Nishimura back in the game there. I think you've been a bit harsh on his start.
It was an absolute howler of a start. He went backwards.
The reigning MotoGP world champion once fluffed the start so badly in the 125 class that he actually just put it in neutral and left it there. So that there are degrees to this. At least he's recovered pretty well. And now back in that fight, like you say. But the championship rivals now shuffled a little bit further down. They'll be wanting to use that slipstream now going into turn 1.
Sherrill, yesterday's winner, has been shuffled down the order a little bit into 6th at the moment. And who was that who took him up the inside there? I think that's Van Erde, who was, see, he's completely disappeared from the front of the group now as well. There he is, just popping out of the slipstream there behind Noguchi. Hello again, Noguchi, I'm still here, don't you worry. And are they going to get completely swamped again down into turn 3? No. Oh, maybe they are. Nishimura is going to make a bid for the lead. He does. It's going to get very close. He does, but does he hold the line? Not quite, but he still holds it enough to take that drive out of turn 3. Here's the other back straight that we have now nearly enough, 3/4 of a kilometre. My goodness, I'm going to have to go and... No, I'm not going to go buy Nishimura a beer. He's far too young for that. I'm going to have to apologise anyways for saying the comments about his start. If he ends up winning this... Oh, some moves there. Sherrill's back in the lead again. Oh, they're all over the guys there. I think it's Boissy making a move on the inside of Van Erde there. Sherrill's back in the lead as we go with 3 laps to go. Well, 2.5 laps to go, I think, now.
Yeah, pretty much 2.5 laps to go. Pretty amazing race today. I think a lot of the guys maybe learnt a lot yesterday from that first chance to race this Chang International circuit at full pelt. And now we see a bit of a, I don't know, not closer competition necessarily, because yesterday there was a big group, but a lot more moves happening in this group from a lot more contenders. So it's getting pretty hairy. But Noguchi, look, you can see honing in again on that top of the group, and I don't know, it's going to get pretty spicy, I think, from here on out. Yeah, 2 and a bit to go. I
think the problem all these riders had is they've all learned from yesterday's races.
Absolutely.
So they've all learned the same things, and now they're trying to mix it together. You've got a little bit of clash in between them, a bit of tension, and that's why we're getting such wonderful racing. It really is going to help their race car. But tell you what, if any of these guys make it up to the Moto3 World Championship, at least they got some previous experience from fast, hard, and brutal racing. As we head on to 2 laps to go, Sherrill is back in the lead from Munandar and Noguchi there. Nishimura, the man who was in the middle of that front row, just in 4th place there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a Van Erde special in a minute. He's needed to make up a bit of ground.
My goodness, he's never taken such an inside line into turn 3, but he still makes it up into 3rd place. Excellent move from Van Erde. He is supremely confident into that turn 3. I hope we just haven't commentators cursed him for the next time around. He's only going to get one more opportunity to tackle that corner. He'll be hoping he's in a bit more of a prime position when he gets there next time around. He's in 3rd at the moment, but for how long? How many riders abreast do you want to go? Nishimura goes up the inside of him. He just is on the exit there. Nishimura is up the inside again as Munandar goes for the lead again. There's Noguchi up the inside of Phil Van Erde.
Wow, it's quite dramatic.
Oh, it really is.
They're really going for it today, aren't they? Really going for it. And it's actually not Noguchi and Van Erde at the head of this race now. Sherrill, again, back up there. But Munandar and Nishimura must have had some serious Weetabix. Maybe not for breakfast. Maybe they had a later brunch. But really incredible pace from these guys and some seriously choice moves. Obviously, Van Erde's move down was incredible, taking 3 in 1, I think. But it didn't last very long, did it?
No, and not too many of them messing up their lines out of turn 11 on the way down to turn 12, although they're all over the track at the moment. It's just the penultimate time we're going to be tackling turn 12. Is Munandar going up into the lead here? Is he going to mess up his drive out the final turn, though? They come across the start and finish line. There's 1 lap to go here. He thinks he's won! No, he thinks he's won! What's he doing? Munandar, keep going! Come on, son, you've not won it just yet! Oh, he's going to go and speak to Julian Simon about that one. Oh, goodness me, he thinks he's won. He hasn't now. He's back in the game of it. On the run down to turn 3 again. Oh dear, that was a drama overload there for a second.
Absolute heartbreaker. Like you say, we've had a few examples of that before in the World Championship. Julian Simon, Alex Rins has done that before, I think.
He has as well. Oh goodness me.
Hopefully it's not going to cost him too much and he'll try and get back back in that fight again. But now I can see Van Aerder is the man to have really made the most of that and is back in the lead. Shariel and Noguchi back up there again. Monanda still well within this group, so hopefully he can gather that back together and see if he can attack again.
Still within with this group, and Shariel and Van Aerder touch there as they go into turn 4. Van Aerder's going to go out the inside of him for turn 5 though, and that's Saliu in the background just thinking, I'm just going to go out the inside. How many can I take? I don't know. It's Shariel still out front there. Is that Noguchi has gone up the inside of Van Aerder? It is, but Van Aerder's going to be up his inside on the cutback. No, he isn't. We're going to go out to turn 8 now. Just how many turns left? 4 turns left. Munandar, he is out of contention for the win. Heartbreak for him. Nishimura is up into 3rd at the moment.
Yeah, we saw someone go wide in the back of shot before. I don't know who it is that's just dropped off the back of this group. Might have been Saliu. Just managed to, just go a little bit wide, but gathered it together. Not going to get back in this fight, I don't think. Shariel, though, looking like he means business again today.
He means business, and it's on the run down. It's the final corner. How many abreast are we going to have? We got 4 abreast coming into the final turn. Noguchi's going to go out the inside of Van Aerder. He breaks a little bit, he runs way wide. They're nearly in the pit lane. Shariel's going to get the win again for Nishimura, and it's going to be, is it Boissy, the local rider, who gets a home podium after yesterday's heartbreak? Shariel gets it again. Absolutely excellent racing here in the Asia Talent Cup. What drama for Van Aerder and Noguchi. They finished 6th and 7th after they pushed each other wide. Nearly a pit lane. They came in a lap early almost. Fran, what a race.
Pretty incredible race there. Have you caught your breath?
No.
My ears are slightly bleeding. But absolutely amazing. Shariel, again, just the coolest customer down into that final corner. Did everything he needed to do. Nishimura and Boissy really capitalised well, but big drama. I can imagine Van Aerder's not going to be too happy with that final corner there, getting pushed well wide by Noguchi. But then again, you know, you've got to be hard but fair, and I think it was pretty hard, but ultimately no contact, or it didn't seem like there's any contact, just taking the opportunity when he could, Noguchi.
Yeah, I completely agree. Well, my voice is going to sound a little bit croaky for the rest of tonight. Not sure I'll be doing much speaking tomorrow after that one. Shariel is so happy with that, and I tell you what, that could actually do some real good, getting it back into the championship fight. How many points will Noguchi and Van Aerder get from 6th and 7th? One thing's for sure, Van Aerder still maintains that championship lead. Fran's going to open a laptop and do a little bit of quick maths here. But there's Nishimura. He managed to get 2nd. The man who started from 2nd on the grid. Well, I do owe him a handshake now then. 2nd on the grid. He finishes 2nd in the race. Absolutely excellent. There is the local rider, number 5, Boissy, who takes the final podium spot. He is so happy with that. He does attempt a little bit of a stand-up wheelie. The bike says no, though. Get down the gym a little bit more, mate, or give it some more throttle. But he is so happy with that. Gives something for the local fans to cheer about. Bill Van Aerder there has been off to the side of the circuit, maybe to have a little bit of a rest, as we're going to get a replay here. This is the final turn. Just look at Noguchi, number 9. They're going up the inside. Van Aerder thought about it. He says, no, I saw him coming up my inside. He dodges him twice. They nearly go in the pit lane and on the gravel on the exit of that turn, losing all drive. And it was just Shariel's for the taking. What drama that was going down into that final turn. Absolutely excellent. Really was. So Nishimura had the absolute perfect view of it all. Just thought, thank you, and I'll take that. Boissy, though, he managed to just held off Lucky 13 in the background there. I think that was, yes, it was. Lucky Hendriancia finishes 4th place, and Mario Aggi, though, not mentioned him yet, apologies, he managed to get 5th in that race. What a recovery that was from him after yesterday's heartbreak.
Yeah, definitely great ride from Aggi to get back up in there. Obviously was in that 2nd group for a while and then able to move a little bit further forward and capitalise well on that. He's not had the best pace this weekend. I think he'd be a bit disappointed overall, but definitely one to watch in the championship fight. So I think he will still just be behind Shariel, but he should retain 4th, I think, overall, will Aggi. Shariel's going to have 111 points, and then I've run out of brain for the rest of the maths.
Great stuff, Fran. Shariel's back again, though. Van Aerder, yeah, definitely still winning.
There you go. So Van Aerder's going to have 144, and Noguchi 137. So obviously, yeah, with them finishing so close together, it's still pretty much the same, just 1 point different to how they went into this race. So not a bad result for Van Aerder. I'm sure, like I say, he'll be a bit frustrated to have been pushed so far wide, but He also, and him and Noguchi both managed to keep it on the track when it looked like they may have had a little trip to the gravel, like you say, or pit lane.
Yeah, or pit lane. Well, they could have come into Parc Fermé a lap early, though they wouldn't have finished the race if they had done that. Happy scenes, as we saw there in Parc Fermé. Malaysian sponsors, their Petronas Sprinter Racing team, all come out to see Daniel Shahril for his win.
And Alberto Puig, their talent promotion director and team principal of Repsol Honda team. Just down
Busy
in
man.
Parc Fermé, definitely. And I was going to say, aren't we all? And then I realised, no, I can't really apply that to myself in any way.
Nope.
But there you go, another congratulations. Great double for Shahril. He'll be flying pretty high. And he knows as well that the finale will be on home turf in Malaysia. So just got to build on this in Motegi and then see what that will bring in the final throes of the championship fight. And a nice bit of rubber there down on the side of his leathers.
You know, it's hard racing when, and you got some rubber all on your leathers there. Goodness me. Well, they hop in the back of the Golf buggy. No, they're not going to go into the 19th hole. They're going to go to the podium that is on the other side of the track. And they did a little bit of downtime between all of them to digest what just happened. I think I did a good week or so to digest what just happened. Fortunately, we have 2 weeks, well, a weekend in between races for the Asia Talent Cup. Got a weekend off next week, and then we head off to Motegi. We're in the Golf buggy.
Was that Xavier Simeon crossing pit lane there? Looked like it might have been. Very nice socks there. But here we have a bit of a role reversal compared to how it was in MotoGP when Maverick Vinales was just left on the back of that buggy, just staring at the crowd, waving on his own.
Yeah,
but,
there
that
it is.
was real
Munandar.
heartbreak for Munandar.
Absolute heartbreak. Of course, he is also, like his fellow countryman there, same helmet as Putra, but number 4 he was. These are going to be the final results then. So, Daniel Shahril was the winner yet again. He does the double here in Buriram. He was the winner from Sho Nishimura, Tachikon, Boasi, Lucky Hendriancia, Mario Aji, Haruki Noguchi, Billy Van Erde, Afrita Munandar, Kopchai, Sailiu. It was just a second back. Look at the gaps here. Nine riders covered by under a second. And then we have Edananta Putra there from Agung Fakrul, Matsuyama. Sender comes through from the back of the grid to finish 13th. Hirama, Paui, Sainzawang, Baker, and Aegeus was 18th there. Just a 30 seconds back. Troy Alberto was the final winner. Heartbreak for the wild card Warwick Thong Nopakon. He was unfortunately crashed out 53 seconds back. That would have been on the final lap. Deary me, Yamada was the only other crasher. He was in that leading group and crashed out down at turn 8. He was up and okay. What does this do to the championship? Well, we've already discussed it. Billy Van Erde still maintains the lead from Haruki Noguchi. That gap now down to 7th place. And still, with 100 points left on the table, up for grabs for the end of this year, Daniel Shahril is now 33 points behind the leading duo. Mario Aji, 48 points behind. Sho Nishimura is in 5th from Munandar. Boasi moves up 3 places thanks to that podium. Sailiu is in 8th. And also, Lucky Hendriancia moves up 3 places as well into 9th. Fakrul has been pushed down to 10th place. Sender pushed down 3 places. Wow, that penalty really cost him dear, didn't it? Putra down in 12th from Paui, Thong Nopakun, and Matsuyama, Hirama, Agius, and Yamada is in 18th place. He stays put. On the final page then, we've got Shota Kiuchi there, 19th from Troy Alberto, Nitipong, Sainzawang, and Benjamin Baker there with 3 points to his name in 22nd place. Well, then the riders getting ready to go up onto the podium. The Malaysian flag flying high yet again above the at the Chang International Circuit here in Thailand, and there will be a Thai flag flying above the podium as well for the first time this weekend. As we see the riders getting called up onto the podium. Come on now, quickly. Off you go, come on. Here we are. Remember your helmet as well. Oh, bless them. They're not used to this podium like yet, are they?
Yeah, you know, it's all new. Obviously, it's a big stage as well. Easy to get, especially when you're the home heroes, easy to get a little bit lost in the whole podium celebration and procedure and just overwhelmed by that race. I know I am still a little bit shell-shocked.
That's all right, fan. I don't think you'll ever end up on a Grand Prix podium, actually.
I don't know what you mean.
You're right.
I'm showing great promise.
Yeah, me too. Moto3 World Championship for 2019, me. As you see the winner, Daniel Shariel, up on the podium, worked up a bit of a sweat in that race, and so did I.
Yeah, definitely. Despite the aircon, I think we paid some dues there. Pretty stressful one, that, but impressive show from all of these guys, and really richly deserved podiums. Obviously, bit of drama for Van Erder and Noguchi there. They were definitely two of the guys with the best pace throughout that race, but anyway, ended pretty cleanly, and you know, even if not Rubin's racing, as you can see on the other side of the leathers, some of these guys.
Yeah, definitely so. He rubbed you, as the old quote goes. And there is Daniel Shariel accepting the trophy. Going to be lifting it high above his head, just as he did yesterday. One of his arms have recovered from that. Probably quite heavy trophies. There he goes. Very, very happy with that indeed. Now, the Malaysian national anthem. Well, there we are. Daniel Shariel clearly has done a bit of homework overnight. I think he's learned the words to the Malaysian national anthem since yesterday. Bless him. We really have got our money's worth out of that CD. 2 days in a row. Time for photos. Well, the next race that we have is the Twin Ring Motegi in Japan. 19th of October, 4:15 local time. That will be on the Saturday of the Grand Prix event, the Asia Talent Cup following MotoGP around the flyaway. So let's get a look at the highlights from that, and see, Fran, it was a shocking start from Sho Nishimura, but what a great finish it was to him. Mario Aggi got away fairly well as he got absolutely duffed up the inside here. Daniel Shariel takes the whole shot, as we saw. Billy Van Erde, though, pretty good start, and he would have really benefited from the mass slipstream effect all the way on the run down to turn 3. Daniel Shariel, though, was being hotly pursued by Haruki Noguchi. It was them two looking so they could have perhaps got away from it all for a little while, but no, that was not the case. It was Billy Van Erde who was making moves up towards the sharp end. There he is. He dragged the pursuing group all the way back up to these two, and from then on, it was an all-out brawl for the win. It was truly, truly a spectacle to be seen. 4 great races that we've had here, Fran.
Yeah, absolutely, and then a bit dramatic as well, sometimes in good ways, sometimes in bad. Bit of heartbreak for Yamada there, just sliding out, but rider up and okay. Yes. And then here at the front again, saw that moment for Van Erde, just seeing him get swallowed up again a little bit by that lead group, and it all got pretty tight at times in this fight in Buriram. Spectacular onboards there from Haruki Noguchi as he just touched the back with Shariel there. Proper contact made, as we see Sho Nishimura make his bid for the lead earlier on. He went just a little bit wide but maintained it there on the exit of turn 3. Superb move from him, and I think we're going to see on the run down to turn 4. It was just who wants to take the lead, who wants to take the inside line here, or outside line as it goes, and there was Noguchi going up the inside of Billy Van Erde. The final corner nearly takes them both to the pit lane, and across the line goes Shariel to take victory from Sho Nishimura. And there was the local Thai rider Boasi taking the win, taking the final spot on the podium there, and it was the double for Daniel Shariel. Your winner 2 times here in Chang. We'll see you in Motegi.